Cold water can get them. Just eat your meal.
Mrs. Incredible has ginger hair. Dash has blonde hair. And
plans you didn't want to go to. Like, I'd be all
have you heard of the Loki theory?
No.
So we all know Loki's 2 episodes in so far, and he's stuck in the TVA. And the TVA stands for Time Variance Authority.
Right.
So this is where the theory comes in. There's a theory that Loki in the TVA is actually stuck in the quantum realm.
Wait, how?
Remember in Ant-Man and the Wasp when they're in the quantum realm? You see like a city in the distance?
Oh, I remember that.
That's the TVA.
What?
Remember the Wasp mom was stuck in the quantum realm? And she said that time moves differently in the quantum realm.
Uh-huh.
And then Ant-Man got stuck in the quantum realm, and he thought he was there for 5 minutes, but he was there for 5 years. And he said that time moves differently in the quantum realm.
Yeah.
So then Loki asked Mobius, how long have you been here for? And Mobius tells him, I don't know. Time moves differently in the TVA.
Wait.
So Mobius and Loki time travel using the TVA through the quantum realm. And guess who else used the quantum realm to time travel? The Avengers.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And get this, the new Ant-Man and the Wasp movie is called Quantumania, and it takes place in the quantum realm. And the main villain is Kang the Conqueror, and Kang the Conqueror is one of the timekeepers in the show Loki.
Wait, what the heck?
Confirming that they may actually be in the quantum realm.
Wait, this is crazy how much sense it's making.
Right?
What if I told you the Titanic never sank?
What?
So the owner of the boat, JP Morgan, actually had 2 boats. He had the Titanic and he had the Olympic. And the Olympic was a little bit older and a little bit more run down, and it was also in some accident.
Okay.
So the theory is that JP Morgan sank the boat on purpose because he knew he would get a lot of money.
What?
He did it for the insurance money, right? But why sink the newly built Titanic when you could scratch off the paint, swap the names, and sink the Olympic instead?
He just painted the word Titanic over the Olympic?
It gets worse. Guess who was on that boat?
Who? I know there's a lot of people on the boat.
All of JP Morgan's business competitors.
What?
And not one of them made it out.
Oh my god.
But guess who wasn't on the boat?
Who?
JP Morgan.
Was he supposed to be?
He canceled minutes before it left.
Because he knew it was gonna sink.
And there was a guy named James Fenton, right, who survived and worked on the boat. And on his deathbed, his last words were, "The Titanic never sank. It was the Olympic."
Wait, what?
And he said that if he said anything, something bad would happen to him.
So what you're trying to say is the movie Titanic's actually called the Olympic.
Exactly. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why Starbucks is the dumbest, smartest company in the world.
Why?
Okay, so everybody knows Starbucks and everybody loves it, right? But have you ever gone in and they spell your name completely wrong?
Yeah, one time I went in and they spelled my name B-I-A-N instead of R-Y-A-N.
Right? Sometimes it's super ridiculous, but the theory is they do it on purpose.
Wait, why?
So multiple Starbucks managers have actually come forward and said that they do it for marketing.
To show how they don't know how to spell?
No, okay, so listen, where else do you see this happen to other people?
Where?
Social media. People post their misspelled names all the time on their stories, right?
Yeah, I guess we've all done it once.
Right, and when you think about it, that turns into free promotion for Starbucks.
I never even thought of that.
Right, and when people see that, they go, oh, I want to see how my name gets spelled.
Yeah, it also makes me want to go and get a drink.
Exactly, and throughout the year, we don't see many Starbucks commercials or promotions, right?
I've never seen a Starbucks ad in my life.
You know why? They don't need it. We do it for them.
Oh my gosh, they out here hacking the system, huh?
Exactly.
So there's another crazy Incredibles movie theory.
Oh, let's hear it.
You know Violet from The Incredibles?
Yeah.
She's not Mr. Incredible's daughter.
Okay, what?
Mr. Incredible has blonde hair, Mrs. Incredible has ginger hair, Dash has blonde hair, and Jack has blonde hair. Violet has jet black hair.
Wait.
It's super, super rare for a dad to have blonde hair and the mom to have ginger hair and their daughter to have jet black hair.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so listen to this. Throughout their entire house, right? There's photos of the family. And there's no photos of anybody outside their family except one photo. Mrs. Incredible has a photo on her dresser with this guy. And this is where the theory comes in. There's a theory that Mrs. Incredible had an affair early on in her relationship with Mr. Incredible with her pilot, Snug.
No.
Remember in the first movie when Mr. Incredible needs help? Who does she call? She calls Snug because she trusts him.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
And to make things even worse, guess what color hair Snug has?
What?
Jet black hair.
Oh my...
Have you heard of the Chuck E. Cheese pizza theory and why you shouldn't eat their pizza?
No, what is that?
Okay, so basically there's a theory that employees will go clean the tables, right? And when families are done eating, they'll take the pizza that's left, take it to the back, create a new pizza, and then serve it to someone else.
Are you serious?
Have you noticed that like Domino's, Pizza Hut, their pizzas are always very round,
Yeah.
right? But Chuck E. Cheese, it's not an equally round pizza.
Oh my... I remember that when we were kids, when
Yeah.
we'd go, it would never be equal. It would always be really messed up.
Right. And you know when you cut a pizza, Usually they go top to bottom, right? But Chuck E. Cheese, you'll see that the slices,
The cuts don't match.
right? So they're a bunch of random pieces put together.
That's crazy. There's a theory that all birds are fake. No, hear me out. 1972, ex-CIA agent Eugene Price was assigned to Operation Water the Country.
Okay, what's Operation Water the Country?
His job was to remove all birds and replace them with surveillance drones.
What?
No, hear me out. 1972, we're in the middle of the Cold War.
Okay.
The US needs some sort of surveillance to make sure there's no Russian spies in the country.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't expect a bird to be like a spy or drone. Like I wouldn't think
Exactly,
about it.
right? You ever wonder why they sit on the wire now?
Why?
They're charging.
Oh my gosh.
No, have you ever seen a dead bird on the ground?
I've never seen a dead bird on the ground. Oh my gosh, I've never seen a dead bird on the ground.
They don't die. They
Oh my
charge.
gosh.
They charge.
Have you ever heard of the Incredibles theory?
No, what is that?
Edna Mode's the best superhero in the Incredibles.
What?
You know like how she's known for making superhero suits?
Yeah.
So in her early years, she actually made a suit for a hero named Stratigale. Stratigale was a teenager who had super strength and could fly. But unfortunately, she died because her cape got stuck into an airplane engine.
Oh, I remember that from the movie.
So ever since then, Edna Mode swore to never put capes on suits.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So this is where the theory comes in.
Uh-huh.
Years later, there's this guy that comes up to Edna Mode and says, hey, can you make me a suit? I'm a big fan of Mr. Incredible. Can you help me out? Edna Mode's like, sure. But there's something about this guy that's like really sketchy and makes Edna Mode feel like, oh, there's some evil in this guy.
Oh.
So she builds him the suit, but she purposely puts a cape on the suit knowing that it will hurt him one day.
What?
That guy becomes Syndrome.
No way.
And we all know how Syndrome dies. His cape gets stuck onto the airplane engine just like Stratigale.
Are you... Dude, that makes so much sense.
And that's why Edna Mode's the ultimate hero of the story.
Dude, we gotta give Edna more credit, man.
Right?
Did you know that the drink Coca-Cola was actually made to save people's lives?
Oh, stop it. Every time I go to the dentist's office, they're always telling me, don't drink soda and don't drink dark soda.
No, so in 1865, Dr. John Pemberton, the creator of Coca-Cola, fought in the Civil War and mid-fight got severely injured and was given morphine to stop the pain.
The Pepsi family out there with their gun trying to take down the creator of Coke.
Yeah. So luckily he survived the war, but unfortunately became very addicted to the medication morphine. And when used the wrong way, morphine can be really dangerous.
Yeah, morphine's known to like shut down your organ.
Right. And after trying many different formulas and concoctions to stop his addiction, he finally created Pemberton's French wine Coca.
Yeah, you're trying to be like Bill Nye.
So it not only helped him with his addiction, it helped many people around the US with depression, anxiety, and headache.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
But in 1885, alcohol was banned and he had to change his whole formula. And that formula is what is known as today as Coca-Cola.
So what you're trying to say is that Coke no longer saves lives.
Nope.
I knew it. Have you heard of the Incredibles theory?
Which one?
What if I told you Mr. and Mrs. Incredible have more powers than you think, and they don't even know it?
What do you mean?
So we all know how the Incredibles is like a family full of superheroes, but don't you think their kids' names are kind of strange?
Yeah, they're kind of weird.
So this is where the theory comes in. There's a theory that Mr. and Mrs. Incredible can see the future.
What? How?
You know how most parents name their kids before they're born, or like right after they're born?
Yeah.
How did Mr. and Mrs. Incredible know to name their kid Dash if one, they didn't know he was going to have powers? If they did, how do they know he was going to have super speed? They literally named him Dash, and he ends up having super speed.
Wait.
And how do they know to name the daughter Violet when they didn't know her powers either? And it turns out whenever Violet uses her superpower, she creates this violet colored force field around her.
Wait, yeah, I didn't even think of that.
And then they named their kid Jack Jack because there's a saying called Jack of all trades, which means like someone that's really good at a bunch of different things. And it turns out that Jack Jack has a bunch of different powers in one.
Wait, what the heck? That makes so much sense.
Yeah, so the theory is that Mr. and Mrs. Incredible have this power called precognition where they can see the future, but they don't know they're seeing the future. They just think it's like a thought in their head.
Man, this is one crazy family, man.
There's one incredible family.
Okay, so I heard there's a new Loki theory.
What is it?
So in the most recent episode, right, there's a lot that happens. We see Loki and Sylvie start to somewhat work together, but we see Loki seems a lot more powerful than we've ever seen in any Marvel movie.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how overpowered he is all of a sudden.
Right towards the end of the episode, we see Loki stop an entire building from falling, right? Right when it's about to hit him and Sylvie, he pushes it back up as if he reversed time.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Right? So the theory is that Loki has the time stone.
You think he took it from the TVA?
Yeah, so remember in the first episode, right, the drawer of Infinity Stones? We see him pick up the time stone, but we can't confirm he put it back in there.
Yeah, for once in his life, all the Infinity Stones are right in front of him, so I don't know what's stopping him from just putting one in his pocket.
Exactly, and at the end of the last episode, right, we think all hope is lost. The rocket ship's broken, the 10 pad's broken. There's no way off of this apocalypse. But what if Loki's gonna use the time stone, repair the 10 pad, repair the ship, charge the 10 pad, and get them off of the apocalypse?
I guess if he uses the time stone, everything could be fixed.
Exactly. Okay, do you know how fast food restaurants manipulate you to buy their food?
How?
So if you seen the McDonald's logo, right? It's the two yellow arches that make an M.
Yeah, it's one of the most beautiful things in the world.
Right? But have you ever wondered why they use the color yellow and red?
No.
So there's this thing called color psychology, and it's scientifically proven that when we see certain colors, we feel a certain way.
You know what? I did learn about color psychology in school.
So the reason why fast food places uses the colors yellow and red is because yellow is supposed to make you feel really excited, and red is supposed to make you feel really impulsive and super hungry. So when you put those two together, subconsciously, you feel super excited, super impatient, and super hungry.
So that's why whenever I drive by McDonald's, I always end up getting French fries.
Exactly, right? When you drive by and you see the yellow and red sign, it makes you feel super hungry and that you want it right now.
So what you're saying is it's not my fault why I get French fries. It's McDonald's fault. It's the colors.
Exactly, but McDonald's isn't the only place that does this. Look at In-N-Out, Burger King, Carl's Jr., Pizza Hut, Wendy's. They all use the colors yellow and red.
Let me just write these ones down so I have an excuse to go there now.
Yeah, just blame it on the colors. Okay, I may have found out who sunk the Titanic.
What?
Okay, remember I told you the Titanic never sank and it was actually the Olympic, and JP Morgan owned 3 boats, the Titanic, the Olympic, and the Britannic.
He sunk them for the insurance money, right?
Right, so there's a theory that all these boats sank because of one person.
JP Morgan?
No, get this. There's only one person that attended all 3 boats and survived all 3 wrecks, and they call her Miss Unsinkable.
You telling me that this person was on all 3 boats when they had their wrecks and survived?
Exactly. Her name was Violet Jessup, and she worked as a nurse on all 3 boats and survived every single wreck.
That's suspicious.
Right? She survived the Titanic's iceberg, the Britannic's explosion, and the collision of the Olympic.
What the?
So many theorists have claimed that she was hired to cause all the accidents on every single boat.
Well, it makes sense if she's the only person to be on all 3 ships when they had their wrecks and then survived.
Exactly. Have you ever heard of the Lion King theory?
No.
Okay, so everybody knows the song Hakuna Matata and how it's about not worrying, right?
Yeah, it's one of the best songs ever.
Right, but what if I told you it's not as happy as you think, and there's a completely different reason why they sing it?
Oh, here we go. I'm going to learn something new today, huh?
So the theory is the song is about Timon and Pumbaa worrying that Simba's gonna eat them.
What?
So in the middle of the song, Simba gets really hungry and he says, "I'm so hungry I could eat a whole zebra." And then Timon starts to get really nervous and he goes, "No zebra here." Then he asks, "Is there any antelope?" And Timon goes, "No." Then he asks, "Any hippo?" And Timon goes, "Nope."
Well, I guess it makes sense because Simba's a lion and lions eat other animals.
Right, so then Timon and Pumbaa try to convince Simba to eat bugs instead of animals, and Timon tells him that it tastes like chicken.
How does Timon even know what chickens taste like?
Exactly, but Simba eats a bug and he ends up liking it, and then Timon and Pumbaa are really relieved because they know he won't eat them.
All the times I've watched Lion King, I never even realized this was in the song. And it kind of ruins the song for me.
Oops.
Have you heard of the pretty woman effect?
No, what is that?
Have you ever gone into a store and the workers were super rude to you?
Dude, all the time.
What if I told you they do it on purpose?
What?
So there's a theory that stores like Gucci and high-end stores are purposely rude to their customers to increase sales.
Wait, how does that even work?
So there was a study done at the University of British Columbia School of Business that rude workers actually sold more products than nice workers.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so what these rude workers do is they make the customers feel like they're irrelevant and they're not worthy of their time.
Dude, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So this makes the customers want to prove to the workers that they can't afford it, so they end up spending more money just to prove to the workers that they can.
Okay, I can see how this could work now.
And that's why it's called the pretty woman effect, because there's a movie called Pretty Woman with Julia Roberts where she goes into this high-end store and the workers are really rude to her because they feel like she can't afford it. So she comes back and buys the entire store just to prove to the workers that she can.
Wait, when you think about it, it's so wrong, but it's so genius.
It's literally reverse psychology.
Exactly.
I have a crazy story. What if I told you a shark saved a guy's life?
Okay, it's either a really lucky guy or a really nice shark.
So I read this article written in 2015 by Sarah Kaplan. So Eugene Finney, a father of 2 kids, went on a trip to Huntington Beach in California. So they wanted to go to the beach to hang out. So Eugene was playing with his kids in the water when all of a sudden he got hit by something really hard. And he said he felt the worst pain he's ever felt in his whole life. He realized that he was just bitten by a great white shark.
What the heck?
So he didn't want to ruin the trip for his family. So he's like, I'm not going to go to the hospital. I'm fine. So then a few days later, he started to feel that pain again. So he's like, I'm going to drive myself to the hospital.
Eugene sounds like a legend. He got bit by a shark and he just wiped it off.
So the doctors had to do many tests and x-rays on Eugene. The tests found that Eugene had a form of a deadly cancer growing around his heart.
Oh my gosh.
Luckily, the doctors were able to treat it and remove the cancer out of his body. Eugene was very lucky that the doctors were able to remove the cancer, because if they waited any longer, he would have probably died because the cancer was growing so quick. If the shark never bit him, he would have never known he had cancer. The shark actually saved his life.
Dude, this guy's the luckiest guy to walk on the planet. So have you ever heard of the Toy Story theory?
I've heard different ones.
Okay, so this is a sad one.
Oh gosh.
So you know how we never see a father figure for Andy in the movies?
Yeah.
So the theory is that in the first movie, Andy's parents are actually going through a divorce. And before the dad left, he wanted to leave Andy something, so he left him Woody.
He's like, sorry, I don't love your mom anymore, but here's Woody.
Yeah, so this is where it gets crazy. Andy's mom has a new boyfriend, and he knows how much Andy loves Woody, but he wants Andy to love him too. So what does he do? He goes out and he finds the next best toy, Buzz Lightyear, and he gets him it for his birthday.
Oh my gosh.
Right? And throughout the movie, we constantly see Woody and Buzz competing to be Andy's favorite toy. And Woody's always scared that he's going to be replaced by Buzz.
Yeah, you could tell like Woody's jealous of Buzz.
Right, so the theory is too that the writers intended for Woody to represent Andy's real dad and for Buzz to represent the mom's new boyfriend. And they're constantly competing to be Andy's favorite parent.
Dang, that's deep.
But after all the hard things they go through together, Woody and Buzz finally realize it's about just being there for Andy and doing what's best for him.
Wow, that actually makes the movie better.
Right? And now we get to see them live as a happy family.
Until they get sent off to Bonnie's house. Have you heard of the Ratatouille theory?
No.
So we all know the movie Ratatouille is about a rat named Remy, and he's trying to help his friend Linguini keep a job at a restaurant. But Chef Skinner's always trying to get Linguini fired.
Bro, I hate Chef Skinner.
So you know at the end of the movie, we see that Chef Skinner finds out that Remy's been the cook the whole time.
Yeah.
So Skinner realizes that animals are a lot smarter than everybody thinks, and he wants to be able to learn how to communicate and understand what animals are saying, but no one else believes him. So this is where the theory comes in. There's a theory that Skinner meets a guy who is super smart and believes Skinner, and he thinks that he can help Skinner be able to understand what animals are saying.
Wait, what?
So this guy is actually Charles Muntz from the movie Up. Skinner convinces Charles Muntz that animals are a lot smarter than everybody thinks. So Charles Muntz believes him and creates a device so that animals can talk.
Wait, like Doug the dog's collar.
Exactly. So in the movie Ratatouille, we see that Remy's running through this apartment building, and then we see the dog Doug from Up. The theory is that it's Charles Muntz's apartment because Doug actually belonged to Charles Muntz. And this makes sense how Skinner and Charles Muntz met since they live really close to each other.
Dude, I like this theory. You know that Disney might be ruining the lives of your favorite celebrities?
How?
So everybody knows Selena Gomez and Miley Cyrus, how they both work for Disney and everybody loved their music.
I do.
Right, but stars under Disney contract have said their lives were miserable and they're really restricted on what they can do in their daily life.
I've heard a lot of Disney Channel stars say that it was very traumatizing.
Yeah, so I read an article that Disney stars have to approve the clothes they wear every day and they can't have any bad words in their songs. And Disney made it very clear that if they broke these rules, their contract would be over because they don't want to lose their kid-friendly image.
I guess that makes sense.
Right, but there's a theory that Disney stars try to get fired on purpose so that Disney will end their contract, but the only way out is to break their rules.
Wait, what?
Okay, but a Radio Disney employee said that when Miley Cyrus released her song Can't Be Tamed, the very next day, Disney canceled everything connected with Miley Cyrus and canceled her contract.
I remember when that song came out.
Right, so Disney stars break the rules and make inappropriate music on purpose, so Disney will end their contract and they can go live on their own career.
So basically, they're trying to get themselves fired. Have you heard of the Black Widow theory?
Wait, are there going to be any spoilers?
It's a spoiler for everyone who hasn't seen Black Widow.
All right, let's hear it.
So in Black Widow, we see how Thunderbolt Ross is trying to hunt down Black Widow, but he looks really sick.
Yeah, in the movie, he didn't look too good.
And this is just like in the comics, how Thunderbolt Ross gets really sick and is about to die, so he takes a super soldier serum, the same serum that Captain America took, but it goes wrong and he ends up turning into the Red Hulk.
Wait, isn't the Red Hulk just Hulk but red?
Yeah, so there's a theory that there's a new superhero team that's being formed.
Wait, are you serious?
So at the end of Black Widow, we see that Yelena Belova is at Natasha's grave, and all of a sudden Valentina comes up and she's trying to recruit Yelena Belova, just like how she recruited John Walker, the US agent from Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So Valentina is trying to create her own Avengers team, and it's most likely that she's trying to create the Thunderbolts. So get this, the Thunderbolts team has Yelena Belova, Black Widow, Red Hulk, who is Thunderbolt Ross, Taskmaster, who we see becomes good at the end of Black Widow, Ghost, who we see in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Hawkeye, Clint Barton, Zemo from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, John Walker, the US agent from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Justin Hammer from Iron Man 2.
Dude, this team sounds crazy. Have you ever heard of the Scooby-Doo theory?
Daniel, don't you dare ruin Scooby-Doo for me.
Okay, so there's a theory that Scooby-Doo was a Russian spy.
What?
Okay, so everybody knows Scooby-Doo is one of the greatest cartoons ever created, but it was created in 1969, during the time of the Cold War and the space race.
What was the space race again?
So the space race was a race between the US and Russia to see who could get a human to space first.
Okay, I remember this now.
But Russia didn't want to risk sending humans, so instead, they successfully sent dogs to space. So you ever wonder why Scooby's so smart and can do human things like talk and walk on two legs? space?
Why?
So the theory is that Russia scientifically created dogs that were highly intelligent so they could send them to space. And Scooby is one of those dogs, but he failed all of his tests and training because of how distracted he got by food.
Typical Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, so instead they sent him to America to be a Russian spy dog. But he ran away from his Russian owners, and the US found out that Scooby was on the loose in the US.
Oh my gosh.
And this is why the original show is called Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Is because he's on the run from the CIA.
Well, I'm glad you didn't ruin Scooby-Doo for me.
You're welcome.
So I have a theory about the new Spider-Man No Way Home movie.
Wait, what?
So you know in the show Loki, how they call the different versions of Loki variants? Which is basically showing us the multiverse, how there's different versions of the same character.
Yeah.
And you know how it's rumored that Tobey Maguire is going to be in the new Spider-Man movie?
Dude, I'm gonna freak out if that actually happens.
So this is where the theory comes in. You know in every single Spider-Man movie, we see Uncle Ben and they show how he dies?
Yeah.
But in Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man, we've never seen what Uncle Ben looks like.
Right.
What if Tobey Maguire in Tom Holland's variant timeline was actually Uncle Ben? And when Tom Holland sees Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man for the first time, he's gonna get really emotional because he looks just like his Uncle Ben. Because Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is actually a variant of Uncle Ben in Tom Holland's timeline.
Wait, that would be so crazy if they connect both universes like that.
It would make the movie better because you would see like this relationship that Tom Holland has with his Uncle Ben again.
So I have a Lilo and Stitch theory.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, it's kind of dark, but remember at the beginning of the movie, Lilo gets in a huge fight with her hula classmate because she calls her crazy.
Oh yeah, the mean girl with the glasses, right?
Yeah, so this happens because Lilo explains that every Thursday she has to feed Pudge the fish a peanut butter sandwich because she believes he controls the weather.
Yeah.
Okay, so the theory is that Lilo does this because she doesn't want anyone to die.
Wait, how does dying have anything to do with this fish?
Okay, so later in the movie, right, Lilo explains to Stitch how her parents died in a huge car accident that was caused by a huge rainstorm.
Oh yeah.
So she feeds Pudge the fish to keep him happy so he doesn't cause any more storms and hurt anyone because she believes he controls the weather.
Dang, that's really sad.
Right? And when Lilo was telling her class that Pudge controls the weather, her hula instructor and all the adults in the room seemed super shocked because they know that she does this because her parents died in the storm.
Every time I've watched Lilo and Stitch, I never thought that scene was important, but now it makes sense.
Right?
Have you heard of the Tangled theory?
No.
What if I told you there's a theory that would totally change the whole movie?
Wait, what?
So you know how the evil mom stole Rapunzel from the castle because she wants her hair because it keeps her young?
Yeah.
So this is where the theory comes in. If the evil mom never told Rapunzel when her birthday is, Rapunzel would have never ran away from her.
Wait, why?
So you know every year on her birthday how her dad will send those lamps into the sky, hoping that one day Rapunzel will come back?
Yeah, I remember that.
And every year on Rapunzel's birthday, she's like looking at the lamps. It's like, oh my gosh, those are meant for me because it's my birthday.
Yeah.
But if the evil mom would have just told her birthday was a different day, she would have never thought those lamps were for her, and she would have never went out to go try to see if those were for her.
Wait, what the heck?
All the evil mom had to do was never tell her birthday, and she would still be with the evil mom, and the evil mom would still be stealing her hair.
Oh my gosh, that makes a lot of sense.
These Disney villains are pretty dumb, huh?
They need some help, man.